Airbnb is now fat phobic. Didn't you know? Didn't you know, fam? We got 5 on that. We got 5 on it. We got 5 on it. Airbnb hosts are branded fat phobic after banning people over 16 stones from staying at their cottage, claiming it could be seriously damaged by larger guests. Owners of Bobbitt's Lair Cottage in Sandwich, Kent, of all the places, you are going to say, hey, if you're really obese, you can't stay here. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say obese. It just, you'll see this, but ironic that over a certain weight in Sandwich. Hey, I mean, if there's any place to be fat, it's in Sandwich, Kent. Face backlash for listing. Zoo and Marcus forbade guests over a certain weight in case it was damaged. Fat activist Lindy McGlone, who has nothing better to do with her day, just scrolling through Airbnb endlessly trying to find someone that is fat shaming or is fat phobic or can be used as fat phobia, and she found it and now she made it to the media. Yes, she got retweeted a lot. She caused the outrage. She found it. She found the fat phobia. Or did she? Or did she find the fat phobia? Lindsay was on this post, or Lindsay was on this story like a fat person on a sandwich.
Matt Damon.
Boom, boom, nailed it. She slammed the discriminatory fat phobic hosts. Of course she did. Of course. Had to be slammed. You gotta slam them. Gotta slam them. You know, they didn't say against fat people. They just said that they claimed the 100 kilogram weight limit, that's 220 pounds. That's not a lot at all. Imposed was due to the, quote, very old oak beams. That's not fat phobia. That is terrible structural integrity, and that cottage should be condemned. That cottage needs to get reinforced beams. Now, what does that mean? 220 pounds per person? Total? That doesn't sound very safe. I mean, let's say it's obviously, in my opinion, it would be less than, let's say it's per person. You don't put that at the upper limit. You say 100 kilograms, maybe it's 200 kilograms per person, but you're like, all right, let's put this limit just to be sure. Just like when you have milk or something that's going to expire, the date on there isn't the end date. They usually bring it up a little bit earlier because you have a plus or minus. You're going to have this, oh my God, what's the freaking, come on. You're going to have, right now I'm going to forget like a basic freaking concept, a percentage of error. Okay, so you're going to have plus or minus. You're going to have maybe like a 3% error, 4%, 10% for milk spoiling. So you don't put the latest possible date. You're going to put a little bit earlier. That way, chances are, the milk, even like a couple days after, it doesn't just go bad. It's not like there's a timer in there. It's just an approximation, right? So you're not going to say 100. If 100 is when it's going to break, you're not going to tell people 100. You're going to tell people if it was 100 when it broke, you're going to tell people 25 or something like that. Ridiculous. Only little gremlins can go in there. So this isn't necessarily fat phobic. I'm about 190, 200. So I'm not fat. I'm muscular. So if I was 220, that would mean the same for me. It sounds not fat phobic. It sounds that this cottage isn't safe to be in. Now, I don't know if this means per person. It doesn't really matter. But this doesn't necessarily mean, if that's per person, 100 kilograms, 220, that has nothing to do with fat phobia. That is a structural concern. And the fact that Lindsay doesn't have anything better to do and decides to go full double Matt Damon. That's right, that was one. Here's another one, Lindsay. Pay attention, you might learn something. People can weigh more and people can weigh less. I know this is mind-blowing, but not everyone that weighs more is obese. You can also have people that are muscular. And also, if these owners, maybe they don't want anyone to die. Maybe they don't want anyone to go through the floorboards of their cottage, because if they do, they are going to go to jail. They are going to feel really bad. Someone could die. Someone could rip their legs off and be paralyzed. Well, maybe that's the concern. Maybe they're not fat phobic. We don't want fat people staying here. Maybe they just don't want someone to die from going through the floor of the fucking cottage or whatever the hell's going on. God, why is it always about fat phobia? Maybe they're white supremacists too. Did you check for any hoods? Did you find any sheets with holes lying around? Lindsay, you jabbernet. Anyway, fam, what are your thoughts? Drop a comment down below. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time for some more thirst-quenching goodness. Peace.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. Off topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollies, you children popping.